By the way, it's really a pleasure to have all of these competent nurses. And you know what I wanted to say, and it's probably long overdue, but the reality over the last, I can't even believe it, almost 8 months is as a result of all of your efforts and all of the people that work here, we actually saved lives. It's that important. It's really amazing that we did that, but we really did. I mean, we don't know how many we saved, but we did. There's no question. And we've been COVID-free since, I believe, the 14th of July.
Yes.
So, it's a new world, and it's serious in what kind of work that you've done by just following direction. And of course, I don't want to get off on an entire tangent about it, but of course we were the scapegoat, the nursing home industry. Somehow we got painted as not knowing anything about infection control. And somehow that's kind of what we do for a living for the last 35 or 40 years. That's really what we do. And some do it better than others, for sure. But I think it was so unfair to paint us in that light when we probably had one of the more difficult roads to go down with the population that we had. So I just wanted to thank everybody for that. So we're gathered today to honor Mrs. Farino, who I'm not sure if you were aware or are aware, but for the NADONA Association, there are state awards, which she won, I believe, 3 years ago as this director of nursing, the New Jersey State. 3 years ago?
No, 10 years ago.
It's 10 years ago?
20.
Let that be a lesson to you about as you get older. Everything is 3 years ago. When in reality, everything is 10 years ago. Okay, so it's 10 years ago?
Yeah, 20.
All right, well, I was in Atlantic City for that event 3 years ago. I don't know where you were. All right, so today, we're all very proud. She won the national award. The national award. That would be all 50 states, just in case anybody doubted that the national award for NADONA was bestowed upon Mrs. Farino. And I think I would like to point out that in many ways, when you do what you do for a very long time, it's almost an acknowledgement. I would like to call it kind of a lifetime achievement. I don't know if you know, but she started out with very humble beginnings. She was a CNA, and that's the way she started. And she was a CNA, and then one thing led to another, and then she went to college, and she decided to become a nurse, and then she was a BSN, and then she got a master's degree, and I met her something around 25 years ago.
Yes.
25 years ago, and we were working in a very difficult environment in a small nursing home that had people who were in their mid-20s who needed nursing home care, literally all the way up to people who were 100, and the population was poor, very poor elderly, very poor compromised elderly, HIV patients at a time when, if you think the coronavirus was something to be feared, we had HIV patients in 1993, 1994, and it was literally a death sentence. So in terms of contagious and infection control, we were there for that at the very beginning when it was probably more feared than what we're experiencing now. And then the other dominant population that we had were psychiatric patients. So Mrs. Farino had her hands full, and I had my hands full because the environment was so difficult that very few up to that point, and I had gotten there in the 80s, so I was there pretty much alone, so to speak, with a series of directors of nursing who couldn't handle the program, because it was in fact very challenging and very difficult. The environment was, and I think she had pity on me the way she tells the story, as well she should. And because everybody, I had one director of nursing, again to Mrs. Farino's credit, and she was very educated and very experienced, and she had had a history with the Department of Health, and I really liked her. And there were brick stairs as you came up the stairs to Ocean Convalescent Center. And it was relatively early. It was probably 9:30. I was coming into the building, and she was coming down the stairs, and she said, "I can't take it anymore." And she left. And I never saw the woman again. I don't know what happened to her. She was a nice woman, but she just couldn't take it anymore. I didn't have that luxury. I went up the stairs, and now I needed a director of nursing. So I'm not sure at what point Mrs. Farino entered, but and she had been working at frankly, much like in my early days, a very nice facility. And she left, and I knew who the owners were, and they had nice facility in Neptune, and she was there as the director of nursing, and I think it was a commuting issue at the time.
No, I love you.
Well, she loved me, but she didn't love me before she knew me. She loved me after, for some bizarre reason. So she was commuting from Howell and up, I guess, over to Neptune, and then I ran an ad, and listen, you couldn't have walked into that building without knowing what you were walking into. It was in the heart of Lakewood at the corner of Monmouth and 9th. The building is still there if you wanted to go by and just take a look. It might shock you. Just the physical plant, just the building. You'll go, really? That was really a nursing home with 60 people? So yes, it really was. And Clint was there too.
I love this place.
He loved it. We all loved it. We really did. Of course, we're a little strange, but I spent 21 years there, and Mrs. Farino spent 15 or so, thereabouts, I guess, something in that neighborhood, from 12 or 13. In any case, she certainly paid her dues. And that's really what this is about. When you get an award that's a national award, it's certainly a tremendous honor. But more importantly, it also has to do with, just putting your time in and fighting the good fight every single day and trying to do the right thing and stay on track.